Alright folks, so time for another comparison video. Now I was going to take a little more time till I did this one, but it's Black Friday. People need help with their decisions, and I'm going to give you my opinion on these two cases as you see in the title, and plus I've got to give this one back to Newegg. So because of that, we're hurrying this up. Alright, so in case you don't know, Matrix 70. These run usually at least $59. At least on sale is $59. Free shipping. Normally $69.99. So I did an unboxing for that. Check that out. If you want to know more details about it, same with this one. Unboxing video, or I did a really good overview on it. Alright, so let's start with the basics. Length of these guys. The 50 is about 17.5 inches long, and this is close to 18 3/4 for the 70. You can also tell, I believe, even at this angle, that the 70 is slightly taller. Now whether the legs are bigger is another story. It stands at almost 19.5, where this one is slightly less than 19, about 18 7/8. Width-wise, 8 1/4 and 8 3/4. So the 70 is definitely your bigger case, folks. If you you want a bigger case, this is really close to a full size. I'm surprised it's not actually. Alright, so tempered glass, obviously, right? What's the difference between these two? Let's go ahead and get the glass off. So to get the glass off the 50, these are on here pretty tight, which is probably not a good idea. 4 of these basically screws that you can thumb tighten, right? So carefully remove the glass. Put that under there. Now obviously every time you do that, easy to get fingerprints, so you probably want to wear some gloves. Alright, this one, to remove the glass, take off the 2 screws at the top. I got to keep these together because they're slightly different. And then pull back here a little bit, and then glass is actually in a groove there. Put this there. Now, I'll be honest with you, that glass actually felt thinner, surprisingly. Alright, so what else do I see? Both of these you see vents, and they both got filters in them. Something just off a little bit with the 70. Doesn't feel like it's as tight as the 50 manufacturing wise. A lot of similar stuff though. Alright, so what else do I see here? This may be a game changer for some, maybe not. You got the little peek out window. On the 50 you can tell what your power supply is, right? And if you're like me, you build a lot of computers, you have a tendency to forget what you put in what computer. In this case, I think we've got a 600 watt EVGA. None in here, right? But I wouldn't be able to tell so easily. Even if I take this piece of glass off over here, which this thing is kind of moves around. I'm not a big fan of that. Let me zoom in there. So it's in there pretty tight, right? And it's moving. So some of you may not like that. So that's another difference, right? This is steel. Both have steel frames, but this has basically you've got this steel enclosure, shroud, whatever you want to call it, over the power supply and the hard drive. This one you have glass. And apologize if the cables bother some of you. I should have this cleaned up one of these days. Alright, so looking at the front, or looking through the case at the front, you see where you're going to connect your case fans. Usually people put 3 case fans in the 50. Usually, you know, the ones with the LED lights, right? You can do the same thing here with the 70. They would go right in here. There's also an additional filter which I don't show, which for some of you that might be a nice thing. Now the top advantages here. This, if I get the tape measure out again, which I can't do one-handed, or maybe I can. Oop. All right, so a little longer than 11 inches. They're both about the same. They're both about the same length. However, this guy is almost 17 inches. So what does that do for you? That allows you to get more of that warm air out of there, right? Bigger opening. And probably if I take these off, why not, right? Might as well take them off. You could get 3 case fans up top, it would appear. Now, I didn't bother to look at Newegg's to see if that's the case. Where over here, you probably only get 2, all right? So, other differences. Once again, the one on the left here is the 50. You have power button, 1 USB 3.0, 2 USB 2.0s, headphone, and a reset button. Okay, over here, power, 2 USB 3.0, so that might be a game changer for some of you. 1 2.0, headphone mic, and reset. I'm going to put the cover back on this so I don't lose it. All right, now, let's go ahead and I'm going to talk more about the inside here on these when I get to the remove the outside or the right hand outside case there. So let's talk about the front real quick. Tempered glass. Now to remove this, I've got a video out there. I'm not going to do it here, but you basically have to pull from under here. All right. Usually I put it on the side. It's not a bad idea to have somebody help you with it. Now, the front of the 70. There's the front of the 70. I don't really like the way the front of this one looks compared to that. But that's, you know, that's my opinion. And now, so I would pull from under here to pop that off. On the 70, I've got a button over here, which is the first time I've seen that. And then I would actually pull this up and out, okay? I'm not going to do that here. Check out the unboxing if you want to see me do that. I've got enough fingerprints on that. All right, so let's look at the right hand side of the case. Now, both of these feature deep cavities that allow you to hide your cables. Alright, so differences here. Let's see if we can see this. I might need to move the camera back a little. Okay. So, Matrix 50, to remove this, these thumb screws in the back here, which I believe will stay with the panel. Yeah. Oh, that's a mess in there, folks. Boy, that's ugly. That's not the case, that's me, alright? I haven't gone back and cleaned that up yet, so alright, to get this one off, remove the thumb screws, pull this up and away, and voila, alright? So virtually the same thing here. You've got that big opening there. This one has the big opening. all kinds of places to tie down your cables, and obviously do a lot better job. You know, all these cases are reasons why you want to buy a hybrid power supply, so you don't have a lot of extra crap like that one does, stuff you're not going to use. And so on my other cases, I have the modular hybrid type power supplies. They make a huge difference. Now, basically same thing here. This is kind of a draw, you know, as far as 2.5-inch drives, how you're going to mount those. They're both one's going to mount here, one's going to mount there. You would do the same thing here. Of course, the hard drive is going to be on the other side. Now, for 3.5-inch drives, both of these have the same setup. Of course, that's a 2 that I've got in there, but you unscrew this, and voila, this pops out. Come with the exact same type cables to mount to your connectors from your case to your motherboard. All right, so nothing different there. And all right, let's go look at the inside again. Of course, might as well do the rounds. Now backside. So I don't have a heat shield on here. This one is not meant to basically, I'm not planning on keeping that motherboard and that computer. Hence why there's no heat shield. It's still packaged up and in the motherboard box. But you know, you can see basically these are very similar, right? There's a couple improvements to this design that I'll note, but otherwise same type grill, opening's the same. The steel structure is well done on both of these. You're not going to find, I don't believe, any sharp points that would snag on stuff or cut you. Now, this is improved over that. These actually appear to be removable, replaceable. Each one of those has its own screw. So if that's something you like after I pull this out of here, if I don't put all the same stuff back in here, you know, one of these is gonna most likely leave a gap, which, you know, maybe some people might not like that if you go to resell the case. Now, power supply, ATX style, basically the same whole pattern on both sides. And this one actually came damaged, so not too happy about that. That's most likely UPS, or yeah, I think it was UPS that delivered this. So it's unfortunate. It happens. I buy a lot of cases, or I get stuff sent to me, but things get damaged. All right, so either one of these is easily going to fit a CPU cooler in it like that, okay? The big tower type. No problem, obviously. Graphics cards. This fits a ginormous graphics card. That one obviously fits an even bigger one because it's even longer. Now, which one of these has better airflow? You know, in a lot of aspects it's this one, but there are holes in that one. This is glass, right? Glass is an insulator, so you're not going to get a whole lot of airflow through that. So that is kind of a negative. You know, these two cases have a lot of really... So these two cases have a lot of cool things about them. In some aspects, I just feel like they both fall short of being the perfect case. Now, what would make these cases better to me? I definitely like the size of this one better. I definitely don't mind an extra like RGB light strip. I'm not a big fan of this design where this thing pops off. I think this one looks better from the front side. I definitely like this better than that. You know, it's pretty much, it's almost from the back side. It is almost a draw on these, except for the fact that this case has removable slats or whatever you want to call them. So that is a big improvement. The overall depth of this is better, which, you know, obviously in some cases you run into problems with the CPU cooler being too tall. But, you know, I don't believe you're going to have any problems with that one. This one is definitely better for airflow vertically because of the ability to put 3 fans in there. So that is a huge positive. Both of these are going to get about the same amount of air coming in from the front. So that's really a draw there. Price wise, I don't think the 50 is I think the 50 is about $50. So this is about $10 more. There's probably that much more material, you know. Maybe not, but you know, for $10 you need a bigger case. That's probably a better deal. Now the 55 is actually running at $40, and in some aspects I like the 55 better than the 50. But I think I'm going to be pretty happy with the 70, assuming I get another one in. All right, so other than that, folks, those are the main differences. In some aspects, you know, it comes down to aesthetics. Some aspects it comes down to overall size. And I personally, I think I would go with this one. I might not like it as much from the front, but I think I will be happier with it in the long run. Once I put all the gear in there and close this up, this is probably not going to bother me. Right now it does bother me. So, oh wow, here's another broken piece. So we actually have 3 pieces that broke off that thing. I don't even know where that thing came from. One thing I failed to note, case fan, they're the same size. Nothing spectacular about it. That's all I have for this video, folks. Hey, leave your comments down below. Thanks for checking out the video.